Hello, welcome back to another episode of James Plays Open TTD. I almost said Nuclear Throne. Um, all is well in James International Transport. We have almost paid off our loan from the Russian Mafia, aka our less than legitimate acquisition of money. And we're going to fast forward this up again. The issue we had right at the end of last episode seems to have fixed itself. I played for I ran the game for like 5 minutes just so we could make some money. This train is going where it's supposed to James Central City, to, wherever. I think it just got stuck on this track for one go around and had to, so it had all these implicit orders. Oops. Oh, I just moved its orders. I hope I didn't mess something up. I accidentally just dragged a bunch of its orders around. Oh, broken down. James Central City Woods. Frindage. Oh, I've borked it up. Oh, it had to go to a depot. I get it. And it thinks that's its depot. That makes sense to me now. So each time it has to go to the... Oh. Isn't there... Maybe I can build another depot. There's a problem with multiple depots. Can I do this? Okay, everyone but this last track will be able to get to the depot. Let me just sort this out. So, okay, so he's back. And he's going the right way. So he goes to Frinditch. No. He goes to Foddingsay. Then he, back up at the top, goes to Frinditch, then goes to James Central City. We're going to give him an actual order to go to James Central City. Can't modify this order. Oh well. How about now? There, we can delete it. Okay. That should be fine. We're all good. So, we're at $19,999,000. We're literally like, there we go. All right, we're back. And we're just gonna do that. So we still cheated. We still, used that money. But for now, we're back in, legitimate business. One thing that popped up while I was running the game is I did opt in to a beta test for the TIM, this brand new electric train. So this one is just faster, but 241 kilometers per hour. Wow, that is fast. Wow. You ever seen that video? The guy is like up on a... Yeah, we're gonna say no to that. There's this video. I don't know where it is. It's like this ancient meme. This guy, he pops up and he's like, wow, and then he like winks, and then he just goes away. It's like a 6-second video. Anyways, so Jamesville's quite large, and I got see, here it is again. Road vehicle 1 is getting old, so it will get to a certain point. Yeah, so it's 15 years, and it's slated to last 15 years. So we're actually going to go into the settings here, which I haven't done before. This game has a ton of different settings, which is one of my favorite things. You can customize tons of stuff about this game. We're going to try and find stable maintenance. One of the things you can do is, if I can find it, is you can turn off vehicles breaking down. Oh, inflation. I don't know this game had inflation. Oh, see, there's our maximum initial loan. A lot of complicated stuff. I'm not going to do too much. You can set when colored newspapers appear. It's actually quite interesting. We're going to turn that one on. Show when our... at the end of every year, we'll look at our finances. That'll probably get annoying, and we'll turn it off, but still. Alright. What we're looking for is auto-replace vehicles. We've got... didn't know those vehicle breakdowns reduced. Yeah. Limitations. There is a setting to do it, and if I can find it. We don't want vehicles never expire, because that's a little cheaty. Don't want to do that because we rely on those. Disable electric rails is what it said. We're going to set this to all actions. So when it's paused, we can do anything instead of just what it limited us to. If I can find it. I probably should have done this off camera, but Sue me. Also, this is an excellent opportunity to show off this amazing settings menu. We want to set this to one-way path signals, because that's what we use most of. Because I don't like our trains going the wrong way. Auto-renew vehicle when it gets old. That's what we're looking for. 6 months after maximum age. Oh, there's our money. We'll address that in a minute. And the rest of this, I think, is good. Save that. All right, and we're good to go. So those vehicles, it'll automatically buy new ones. Now, it won't buy like the latest and greatest bus. It'll just buy the same bus that it had before. But and while we were doing that, we actually made quite a bit of money. So so obviously we lost $19 million in 1985 because we paid back our loan. If we go back, we made $20 million. But we've got $100 grand, and we've got our big loan. We can pay that off later. Fortunately, our maximum loan has gone up to $800,000. The bank has increased our credit limit as they've seen what wonders we were able to accomplish with just a small loan of $1 million, or $20 million, I suppose. Maybe not such a small loan, but our financier, Mr. Trump, is very pleased with our progress here. So that's the one that we had the option to pre-order. So the pre-order period does not last that long. It's or the like alpha test, beta test, I don't know what they call it. But I find it's more useful if you're really, really playing an intensely competitive game. But let's see where we can expand our passenger line to. And I think we're going to do a long line over to Modding Stone. And we're not going to do the double tracks, but we are going to stop in Tenham. We're still going to do 2 tracks for the stations. What if I... Because the trick is to get it as close to as much of the city as possible. So we're going to do that. And that. And like so. And then we'll have those go into one. Because we don't need the double tracks. Sometimes you can do double tracks where you have trains go either way around the tracks. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and there's a sort of a meta for the game, I guess you might call it, of kind of what is accepted as the most efficient way to play. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't really know what that is. I kind of see, like, I go on the subreddit and see people talk about it. I'm not an expert at this game, in case you didn't notice. And I don't spend a huge amount of time trying to figure out the most optimal way to play. I just kind of build tracks and have fun. And you know what? My businesses make money, so that's good enough for me. So we're going to have you go like that. So the reason I'm still doing double stations is because trains stop at stations. So if you have multiple trains, we want them to be as efficient as possible. It's unlikely that we'll have more than 2 trains on this simple track, but in case we do, or even up to 2 trains, I guess it could affect. We're gonna have these tracks go as close next to each other as we can. There we go. Now, where are we joining them? This is a long way to go. Right. Auto renew failed on road vehicle money limit. I'll look at that later. I think there's our I figured that would get annoying, but we made some money last year. I figured what it does is if you have less than a certain amount of money, it won't renew the vehicles, so it doesn't like bankrupt you. But we have like 80 grand. We should be fine. We'll have to take a look at what that is in a little bit. And we're gonna build a girder steel bridge since we're, doing a bit better now. And bridges also affect how the kind of bridge you build affects not only how much they cost, but also how fast the train can go over them. What is this? Oh, it's a iron ore facility or a steel mill. But how fast the train can go over them. So with this track, we're going to buy that new train that we saw, the brand spanking new one. And it's going to, yeah, I just got to think about this. The train comes out. So this one, we can do that. There we go. Signal that up. For this one, we have to connect this track over to like the input of James City Central Woods. So here's what we're gonna do. Actually, need a little more space than that. And I was thinking about we might build a tunnel, but we need to get over this track first, or we can just go like that. I don't want to congest this track though, with having trains going, like crossing it. So we're actually going to build a small bridge over this track. Do that, and that, and that. Will that be... Oh, I missed. Of course I did. Landscaping is really expensive, by the way. That was like a bunch of money just to do that. So it's always a bit annoying when when you mess it up. All right. It's like building something in the wrong place and like, oh, well, I guess all that money I just spent was for nothing. Okay, and then we want you to join over here. And we want them to be able to go onto any of these. So, okay, so now let's overview. We've always got to review once we've built it. So the train starts at James City Central, goes out, follows any one of these tracks, can get out to here. All right. Follows the track on the right, all the way to Boddingstone, goes out, goes to Tenham, goes all the way back, and then goes around, over, and back into James City Central. Excellent. Now, if we got a train depot... The other thing is we need to make an effort to make our train depots accessible by every... what is it? Oh. Whoops. There's a button you can hold and then, like, click the thing. We're doing okay. We're actually going to look at that briefly. I think, it's shift. Yeah, see, here it is. So it's 16 grand to build a train depot. You can hold shift and click, and it'll, instead of doing that thing, it'll tell you how much it'll cost to do that thing. But, in the meantime, where is it? Here's the Tim. We need 133, hang on. $133,000? Jeez. Well, I mean, we're almost there. Maybe we'll borrow some more money. It's the solution to all your problems, kids, is just borrow more money. That's it. Don't actually do that, please. That's awful. If any people who are considering, like, taking an irresponsible loan are watching this, please do not. Unless you're making an investment with it that will produce a greater return than the loan itself, than the interest on the loan, then you should not take that loan. I, however, happen to know that... Yeah, this is the track that goes this way. I happen to know that of all these loans I will take, that will produce a greater return. I forgot to do signals on these tracks again. There. We'll leave this open until we finish the signals, and then we can just click go. Yes, I happen to know that the return on these loans is quite good. This game isn't super realistic, but you know what? It's good enough. And the bank knows that too. That's why they loaned me $800,000. Which, hang on a second. If you think about it, this whole system, like everything I've built, would cost a lot more than $800,000. Like, I keep forgetting to turn off X-ray. But like, think about these stations, like brand new, state of the art. Well, at least I hope they're nice. Anyways, You know, new stations, trains, train cars, employees' salaries, things like that. All right, we can set this guy to go. We're gonna watch him again. It costs a lot more than $800,000. Then again, most cities have more than like 1,280 people in them. How big is Moddingstone? Moddingstone seemed pretty big. Moddingstone is, yeah, 5K people. I say K because I'm cool. Is that a casino? Oh no, it's a hotel and a casino probably. This is a cool city. I like this texture pack. This is Total Town Replacement set, new GRF. In the next episode, I'll show how to get mods and stuff for this game. We'll probably keep playing this map for a little bit longer, anyways. At least to show off maybe some boats or something. Well, this map is not super good for it. But I will go into the main menu and show you how you get mods. It's super easy. I always thought it was really complicated, but it's not at all. It's really quite simple. Just delete this here. Don't need that anymore. Now that we're rolling in it. And we're actually going to start paying off some of our debt. But first, let's look at... so construction is always the biggest cost. You see that at the top. Next is new vehicles. Yeah, we spent a lot of money on that train. Train running... Oh, it's a new year. Train running costs is like, you know, fuel, paying the people. Road vehicle running costs, same thing. We don't have any aircraft or ship, but we have property maintenance. So that's like our stations and stuff and our tracks. Each track costs you a certain amount to maintain, and I can show you details. We have 1,805 pieces of electric railroad. So I don't know how much a square is. I think it's like a certain... well, okay, if it's 2 train cars are a square, how long is an average train car? It's like 30... I'm going to look that up, actually, right now. How long is an average train car? Long is an average train car. And then we'll figure out how long these squares are and how many kilometers of track we actually have, or miles. Most flat cars are 50 feet in length. Okay, so let's say they're 50 feet. So each square is 100 feet. So that's 100 feet times... So that's 100... Yeah, that's 100,800... No. 180,000 feet of track. 100... Because this is Imperial, like... the Imperial system, don't even get me started. 180,000 feet in kilometers. So Google is telling me that 180,000 feet is also 2,160,000 inches. Thank you, Google. That's exactly what I wanted to know. Okay, 54 kilometers. Oh, that's not actually that much. So we have 54 kilometers of track. That took way too long to figure out. We have 54 kilometers of track, and then we have signals, we have road, we built some road, we have, yes, 6,000 feet of road, and 184 station tiles. So, yeah, I'm not going to do all the math on that. But we have a lot of infrastructure. So our infrastructure cost, coming back to what we were originally talking about, property maintenance, is substantial. Now we come to income. So this year, each year we've made more than last year. And we can look at our income graph. With building that new rail line, it's spiked. Thank you. How do I change the scale on this thing? Anyways, we've got other graphs here. That was our income graph. This is our profit graph, which is also doing well. We can look at delivered cargo graph. Kind of just looks the same. Performance history graph. Okay, so this is what people think of our service. I think. Maximum rating. Okay, so out of 1,000, we've got... Oh, okay, maybe that's not so good. We regularly score 259 out of 3,000 or out of 1,000. Let's see what else we've got. Company value. Oh, that's when we paid back the loan. So our company used to be worth $20 million because we had $20 million. We paid that back. So unfortunately, that'll take a while for it to kind of normalize and give us any actual useful information. But it's below zero right now because we still owe money. But we have a bunch of money, so we're going to start repaying this loan. So we're at we paid back half the loan. Cargo payment rates. Now this I don't know. Payment for delivering 10 units or 10,000 liters of cargo a distance of 20 spaces. Oh, I see. So, okay, so this is interesting. So we're going to disable all. We're going to just look at passengers. So if we deliver a passenger 20 squares and it takes us 10 days to do so, then we get paid 100 and let's say 100 is 190. If it takes us 200 days to do so, they pay us like $90. That's actually really interesting. Or 88, yes, 90. So they pay us half as much if it takes us. That's super interesting. This is a part of the game that I did not know about. And I've just looked at our clock, and we've got over 20 minutes, which is what I'm aiming to do for each episode. So that's gonna do it for this episode. Are there any other? I think that's it for the graphs. Ton of cool stuff in this game. Thank you so much for joining me. This episode, as we expanded our rail line out to Tenham and Moddingstone. We'll take a look at how we're doing next time. We looked at our finances, but we're going to assess James International. What's our company called again? James International Transport on the international stage next time, and we'll also take a look at modding. So thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time.